Alright. We're on again.
We're on again. There hasn't been no sound until now, but you are recording.
We are recording now.
It's all good.
Baby, baby.
Baby, baby. And you can relax and join in.
I'll check now.
Testing sound. Welcome everybody. We have technical problems, challenges, but it's all good. 3 people watching, 10 people watching.
Boom.
Boom.
Wait a second. I told you I get nervous. Anything over 6 people, I can't do it. So
I broke the contract.
Yep.
What are we doing now?
4 of you have to stop listening to this right now. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. You can listen to the recording later.
You serious?
I believe that they left now. So.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they left.
Okay, so I'm gonna do, well, let's start over. We had a 5 minute of nothing with no sound, so you're welcome. And this is the Hakeslepp number 30. This is an anniversary, and the Hakeslepp podcast, for those of you tuning in for the first time, is a podcast where we bring in people who live extraordinary lives and who are different and inspiring for people. Today we are fortunate enough to have Sasha in studio. Welcome, Sasha.
What's going on? 6 people. How you guys doing?
It's good.
This is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in Norway, and that says very much about your country.
Really?
It hasn't been that good, I'll be honest with you guys.
Why is that?
Hot girls, 0. $1,200
What?
coffee, 0. Yes, that you have that. Cold weather. Friendly girls though, I'll give you that much. They're very friendly when you talk to them. They want to have sex, but are there lots of them walking around? No. Maybe they're all studying. I don't know.
They have. I mean, that's weird. You're the first
strange.
guy coming to Norway saying that.
I'm probably the first guy coming to Norway from Serbia, also.
Okay.
Anyways, still good to be here.
Good stuff. Welcome.
Amazing.
And you have your friend Arthur here.
Arthur's here.
Yes, hello.
He films me and makes me look pretty, and that's why I love him.
Good stuff. So you had to edit that a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of Photoshop.
A lot of Photoshop.
Yeah, I'm actually 47. So
Is this like a behind the scenes thing? Is this getting somewhere?
this might? We don't know. We can't reveal that. All I know is we better get to the good stuff quick because we got 26 minutes of gold coming up because I got to be on a plane. I got to get on a plane, right? I should be going to the airport right now, everybody.
But we're holding him. Don't worry, guys. We're holding him here.
He's not going anywhere.
Don't worry, guys.
He's not going anywhere.
Also, remember, you're special. You're always special. Sasha, for those of you who don't know you, use 30 seconds to introduce yourself
I
and
want to
tell
know what
yourself.
Zoltan has to say. I
Sultan?
forget I said that.
What the?
All right.
I don't know anything. I don't get this.
I've been around for a long time. I knew about the whole you can go up and talk to girls and try and have sex with them in the late 90s.
Okay.
Because I heard about it from a guy called Mystery before everyone else. But I didn't like it. I didn't like not telling girls they were hot. It felt weird trying to kind of go around and nag and troll stories, and all of it was a bit weird for me. So I didn't do it. Once in a while, for most of my life, I would once in a while approach people I knew I could, but it didn't really go anywhere. It was poop. I only ever got laid because I was lucky or I was funny or whatever.
Okay.
So I went off and I became a stand-up comic, and I did comedy for years and years and years, and that was my tool to get women. Usually would fail, but once in a while I'd get a girl who was like, "You're so funny, ha ha," and she'd sleep with me. But it wasn't certainly good game. It was basically just fluke, really.
Okay.
So when the book came out, the evil book that we all know about, that will not be named, in 2006, I read it, and I got angry because I was like, all these guys are good, and they're actually going out there and making it happen, and I still suck. So I became obsessed with pickup in a big way.
Yeah.
And around 2007, I joined a forum in London called the LSS, for those listening who know about it. And and I just became obsessed on it, and I started going out like all day long. Like we'd leave the house at noon, we'd get home at like sometimes 4 a.m. and we just go pick up chicks the whole time. No clubs, just streets, malls, wandering around, any coffee shops. We just go anywhere, subways, buses. We don't give a shit. So yeah, and I just did that obsessively, and learned most of what I know about women today based on many experiences with women.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I learned the hard way. Fortunately, these days you don't have to go do thousands of approaches. You can take a course or read some books other people have written. That helps a lot. But there was no real day game resources back then
No.
that I was aware of, so I just went out and just fucking did it the old-fashioned way. It was good. Yeah, I learned a lot of stuff.
And then, because I met you, well, first time I met you in 2008, the Real Man Conference.
That's right.
And then I met you, invited us to the Direct Dating Summit. First one did in London.
Mm-hmm.
How did you go from talking to girls to teaching it, and how did the summit came about? Because that's your main thing these days, no?
I wouldn't say it's my main thing. When I'm doing events, it takes up a lot of time. But
Yeah.
most of the time, I'm just teaching courses, and
Okay.
writing, and traveling and teaching. So yeah, I mean, I was just helping guys on my local forum, and guys started writing nice reviews. So of
Yeah.
course, other people want to train, and then eventually you got to go, all right, well, I'm going to charge money for it, and just kind of skyrocketed from me doing a good job and trying to get guys laid. The Direct Dating Summit happened because in 2009 I read. I just started getting into more direct stuff, so I read Bad Boy stuff, I read Alan Roger Curry stuff, and I realized that the whole community was just doing all this weird shit, and nobody was really focusing on saying the truth or being honest and just doing what we as men naturally should do, which is see a girl and say, hey, you're fucking beautiful, I want to meet you.
Yeah.
What's going on? That's normal. That's like the most normal thing in the world. Like,
Yeah.
you're a man, you see a woman, you want to go over and be like, hey, I want to meet you, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, I like you. I like your, whatever, you're local, you're interesting, you're hot, you're saying whatever the fuck. And so many guys were stifled about that. And when I started doing direct, it totally freed me up. I went from just like having mediocre or difficult to just hooking up with a lot of girls and hot chicks. And all I was doing was just being like, yo, you're fucking hot, I want to talk to you.
And the relationships becomes different as well, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Because you're starting it from a point of honesty.
Yeah.
You're just being like, yo, I want to talk to you. And it's just like, I don't know. It just changed. But just acting that way totally changed my life because I started being more honest with myself, with other people.
Exactly,
It's
right?
just everything became normal.
How's it like? Yeah, it's funny how it works. I talk to a lot of guys who there's like a full circle when you've been. A lot of guys go through this weird phase, and then all of a sudden they come back to being normal and honest, but more attractive, like a real man. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems that way as well.
In a way, even though as much as I hate indirect and manipulation and all the bullshit and routines and all that crap,
Yeah.
in a way it's like maybe it's good for guys to suffer a little bit and realize it's a bunch of shit, and
Yeah.
then if it helps them find themselves and figure out what's real,
That's good.
then that's good. But I think guys just have to realize that all of that stuff is getting in. It's a crutch, you know.
Yeah.
It's getting in the way of you figuring out who you fucking really are and what
Yeah.
you want in life. Because my crutch for years was, and I'm pretty open about this, was the fact that I was too fucking funny. I was the funny guy.
Yeah.
So I meet girls, you can see it in some of my YouTube videos, and I'm being super funny. Girls are like, this guy's hilarious. But guess what? You don't want to fuck that guy because I'm trying too hard. I'm trying too hard to impress. Just like other people might use magic to try and impress girls. Just like some guys might use money. Oh, hey, look, I got a Ferrari. But the problem is, as soon as you approach a girl and you're trying to impress her in any way, you're sub-communicating. I don't believe I'm actually good enough for you as I am. She knows it, and that's it. It's over.
Exactly. I totally agree. But do you think you starting to act differently, or like saying more honest or doing more honest approaches, made you become more honest, or was it like an inner game breakthrough for you first and then being honest?
The funny thing is, I was always an honest person. I don't like bullshit. I don't like lying. That's why it felt so wrong doing that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I knew about this stuff before everybody. Like late '90s, I happened to be friends with Mystery because we're both from Toronto.
Yeah.
I met him at a comedy club. So from that day up till 2009, it never felt right to me. So to answer the question, I think they go hand in hand. The more I started being honest and authentic with chicks, the more honest person I became, and whatever little kind of tendencies I had, I just was like, fuck that. I just want to say it like it is, and that's it. I have nothing to hide anymore. Yeah.
And also, yeah, you like because to I get a lot of questions because sometimes guys don't feel like they know what they want. Like, was that a challenge for you? What would you say to someone like that?
Yeah, it's super important. For me, I knew I just wanted to... All I really wanted was to be able to come up to a girl and say, hey, I find you attractive. Let's get a coffee. I just want to have girls in my life. Really simple. But for other guys, yeah, you have to have some kind of goal. Like, I had some students this weekend, and these guys were just faffing around. They're just like, yeah, I just want to meet you, and I don't know, and maybe we should hang out. And I'm just like, dude, why are you talking to this girl?
Yeah.
What is it that you actually want?
Yeah.
And you have to know what you want out of life and with every girl you talk to.
Yeah.
Everything. Totally. And I say a lot of guys I meet who are totally lost, they have no fucking idea, and they're farting around, and I'm just like, women can sense that you have no life's purpose.
Yeah.
So on a much deeper level, you got to know what the fuck you want out of life.
Yeah.
Like on a deep level, like why are you here?
Cool.
That's not something you can take.
So you
a course
teach that
to
to
figure out.
guys.
I make them realize the importance of it, but
Okay.
there's no course you can take where suddenly at the end you're like, yes, I know it, I'm going to be a firefighter.
No, exactly.
No, you got to figure that shit out. But I give the guys, at least I kill their fear, and I make them realize that they can act and do as they wish, and hopefully through that will lead them.
Exactly. But how did you find your purpose? That's very fascinating, because to me it was a bunch of trial and errors, and like meeting tons of different people and pointing in hundreds of different wrong directions before I feel like I now, like, it could change tomorrow, I don't know, but you know, a lot of failing, I would say, kind of.
Failing is good. It just kind of happened. I don't know. I just started doing it and it felt right, and as it felt right, I think I hope that's not the alarm. That's an alarm. Yeah, just lots of failing, but then when you start doing something and it's natural for you and you know that it's right, it just feels right. You just know that you feel good, right? When I come up to a girl and I'm like, "Damn, you're sexy as fuck. I want to talk to you." I feel good. So I know that's the right path.
Okay.
And I think I was always, for me in my life, it was always natural to be helping people. Even before I got into this, I would always, if I was talking to someone and they had a problem, I was always trying to help them. So for me, it was absolutely normal just to fall into this. Suddenly, when I got decent and was getting better, that I would just be helping those around me. That's just natural for me. So I just fell into it, and that's it. For me, it's the most normal thing in the world to meet someone and within 10 minutes trying to solve their life problems. Actually, not the best thing to do with women, but in general with people, yeah, that's just what I do.
That's awesome, man. I'm curious, because I'm very interested in stand-up and stuff, and I want to do a set one time. What kind of similarities are there between mastering the art of seduction or life with women and stand-up?
Stand-up.
Do you still do stand-up?
I do stand-up sometimes, yeah. I just did a show a few weeks ago in Serbia, which I got on tape.
Was good?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was a long set. I think at some point I wrote an article about this, and it might be on my blog. Yeah, the similarities are you know, with most things, things are similar. Like stand-up to pick-up to poker to life to yoga. It's all similar patterns. You're going to suck at first. You're going to fucking fail. Other people are going to be doing better than you. People who are uglier or stupider or less funny are other people always do better than you. And you have to not compare yourself to them. And you have to focus on your own shit and get as good as you can. Everything's a parallel. You know,
do you think like doing that much stand-up that you have done, like mastering one area would help you master another area, or
Absolutely.
do you start from scratch?
Because it takes a shitload of dedication to master any one area.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to go through that and you realize how much work it takes, that's a huge advantage, because at least you recognize that's what you have to do in other areas. I think the most important thing that correlates them is you have to love whatever it is you're doing to really master it. You can't get the amount of hours of practice if you don't really love it. So comedy was an obsession.
Yeah.
It was absolutely a huge obsession, and I did it, and I got very good. And you have to have that passion. That's why so many people are unhappy, because they're doing jobs or things in their life that they're not passionate about.
Yeah.
And it's killing them.
Oh yeah.
And they know it's killing them, and because they're stuck in this system they believe they can't break out of,
Yeah.
they keep doing this stuff that's literally killing them.
It's
And I'm
weird,
like,
right? They
it's
think
horrible.
they can't, like literally can't.
Of course they can. If you come from any rich industrialized nation, your worst case scenario is living on a friend's couch and eating like wheat or fucking flakes or whatever.
Oh yeah, and here in Norway, if you have no job, you'll get paid by the government.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Like,
yeah, most people that we know, their worst case scenario is, oh yeah, you don't have money to go out or whatever, but you could spend that time to create something or start a business or take a course, do something.
Yeah.
You know? Something, or at least go somewhere where you can chill out for a few weeks and read and think and get away from everything, and then realize, wait a minute, maybe I do want to do something else. But people are just too stuck in the system. They just don't think they can escape. And most people would prefer the safe route than change that might lead to happiness. People will just take the easy way out. And unfortunately, all greatness comes from risk and change. You have to risk is part of life. And most guys who aren't getting what they want, they're afraid of risk and they're not taking it. And the same thing with women, same thing with comedy. You want to get a big joke in comedy, you're going to have to take a risk. You're going to have to say some shit some people might not like. It's either going to be really fucking funny or it's not. You got to take a shot. You know, and so many comedians out there suck. They're horrible. I can't even watch them. The reason I can't watch them is because they're doing the same jokes everyone else is doing.
They're safe in it, right?
They're safe. They're taking the safe. But I can't even listen to these guys. I feel disgust. I'd go up on that stage and I'd say all kinds of outrageous shit. Anything I'd want to talk about that was funny, I would say it. Sometimes they'd fucking destroy people. People would be carrying me out of comedy clubs, and sometimes we would just fucking tank, and people would be looking like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And that's fine. But that's what made me good because when I fucking sucked, I was like, okay, cool. They didn't like me. That's cool. Whatever. You know, work on that joke. And when I was amazing, I'd be like, okay, they like me this time. That's fine. But I just had that sense of like, it doesn't matter. I'm still me. I'm doing my thing, and I love it. They love me. They hate me. I'm doing my thing. So you have to be authentic in comedy in order to not go crazy or hate yourself. You have to be doing what you love doing on stage. And the greatest comics, they weren't going by whether the audience liked them or not. They were going by, is this what I want to be talking about? Is this real to me? Am I really being authentic here? And those people, even though some of them sucked, they became amazing because they were true to themselves. And eventually they fine-tuned it, and people started liking them doing what they're doing. And then they had real fucking fans because they were doing their thing. That's why with what I'm doing now, I don't try and like, you know, put out videos or do things or whatever that people want. I'm doing what I feel is my gift. I do what I think I love doing. I love doing exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I love. I'm not trying, oh, how do I get more views or how do I get more? I don't give a shit. I'm doing my shit, and the fans that I have are
attracted.
Yeah, but I mean, I love them. They love me, and they're the right people for me because I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, and they appreciate that. I'm not worrying about the other fucking people. And so it's really natural what I'm doing, and it's just happy because I'm not trying to do anything other than what feels good for me. That's it.
That's amazing, man. That's so cool. I resonate so much, and I can see with people who it's just that difference between trying and just doing. Kind of, you know, it's I resonate with you and so many other guys we had on this podcast. It's like you come from different worlds, but you have the same truth. It's like you have the same exact understanding of, well, I just have to do it. It's natural. It's what I gotta do. And okay, it's scary. It's risky. Sometimes I don't want to. It might not feel amazing, or it just feels right. Yeah. There's a thing there. There's a drive that comes from it that people need to know about.
Truth is essentially the same. If you read enough books or you talk to enough people who, all my friends who I'm actually friends with who are good in this industry, and it's a very very small group of people, we've all come to the same conclusions.
Yeah.
Okay. And once you get comfortable with the truth and what it is, you spot the truth right away. Somebody says something true, you go, yep, that's how it is.
Yep.
And as soon as there's bullshit, you're like, this is fucking bullshit. And the more comfortable you get with the truth and yourself, you have less and less patience for bullshit. So at this point in life, I don't want any of it. Anybody who's full of shit, trying to take advantage of people, manipulation, I don't want them in my life. No. Not even casually. I don't want to meet them even once. I'd
Good stuff.
Just avoid them entirely. But you get to that point. I think everyone should at least try.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's all good?
All good now. His mic isn't... Mine... One of the mix isn't working, but now it is.
Good stuff. Alright. So just like Arthur here, you know? Doing his passion.
Yeah.
Something about it.
Arthur's...
And his videos are good?
Of course.
Or you wouldn't use him, right?
Wouldn't use him.
We're looking for someone like Arthur. Looking for a guy who can film everything. And join us to California and film everything and put out videos and stuff. Just so you know, guys. Alright, I'm curious. How do you work? How did you, like, because you make a living out of this now, but you haven't done for a long time, or did you? Or did you? Were you just poor, or did you live off stand up, or did you have a job, or?
Before, yeah, I was making a living from stand up ever since I was, I guess, 24.
Okay.
So I'm 33 now, so quite a while.
Okay, so I'm curious, how did you go from to be able to live off of stand up, and then how did you go from stand up to living off of this?
Just happens, you know, start making a bit of money, and then more, and then eventually you realize, wait a minute, this thing is taking off, and it just takes up more of your time.
Okay, so you didn't go cold turkey, quit your job, and
no, I never did that. No, things that happen naturally in life. The funny thing about my journey is this, and it's a big lesson for me, and I guess anybody. You can't decide where your life is going to go. You can have an idea, and you can have an idea. Okay, this is I think what I want to do. But life will always take you another road.
Yeah.
If you try and fight that road, you're fighting destiny. You don't fight it. You can't fight it. If all things, it's like you should try and do something, and if it goes well, great, put all your effort into it. And if you feel there's resistance and it's just not happening, let go. Let go, because that's not the thing for you.
Okay.
So that's what happened with me here. I was like, yeah, I'll do a little bit of this stuff, but I'll focus on comedy. And what kept happening was, just this. It was just easy. Everything was going right for this. Right? Everything. The students were giving me amazing reviews. More people wanted to do the courses. People wanted to interview. All this great stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing comedy, and it's like, oh, it's okay, but it's just this is just pulling me this direction.
Okay.
So it's retarded to be like, no, I'm a comedian. I'm going to do this. No, fucking go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because that's just what's happening. So it's like you have to be aware of these opportunities, and if you want to try something out, try it. But if everything's pulling you in one direction, there's probably a reason for that. So just be open to the possibilities and stop deciding you are like this, because it's don't put yourself into a box. That's the problem. People put them. I'm a comedian. I'm a plumber. I'm a good person. I'm a bad person. I'm this. I'm that. No, just be who you fucking are, who you feel comfortable with, and go with the flow in life and have a great life instead of trying to fight all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're unhappy, change. Don't tolerate it. Don't tolerate unhappiness. You don't have to be unhappy. Whether that means breaking up with somebody or quitting your fucking job, whatever. But life is too short.
It's weird how we put things in box, right? I am, or my
this.
situation is this, or I can't, I can.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
You can do anything.
You could we could move to Brazil now. You're going to Brazil, no?
Yeah, shortly. It's one of those things. It's like you can do, like, if you're born,
especially in 2012, anything is possible, right?
2012, but like, let's be honest. If you're in some poor ass Somalian village right now, and all you have is like a bucket and some rice, okay, you can't do everything you want to. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a 99.9% chance you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you have an internet connection that's stable, and you can listen to it, and you have enough leisure time to be listening to this, guess what? You could be doing whatever the fuck you want to be doing.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, you could just quit your job, learn to play poker, move to Thailand, win $500 a month playing poker, and live on a fucking beach.
Yep.
You could do it if you wanted to, but people would rather suffer. So
it's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. There's a poker. But do you play poker? A lot of poker?
Yeah, that's another part of the story. I didn't mention, but I supported myself playing poker in my early years in comedy.
You should have stayed there longer, man.
You any good?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends now is a huge poker player, and he's been helping me as well. So
cool.
We're gonna have an epic showdown pretty soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, poker's great. I mean, yeah, it's awesome. I've got the instinct for it. I know when people are full of shit.
Yeah.
So I can. Yeah.
That's cool. I have a friend who also reads people very good, and he's a good player. It's weird. There's a something called Pokerleiren, which means the poker camp in Denmark, and they do the same. Like, they have this house where they put people together, and then they become good poker players, and they have 3 screens and play 25 different tables at once. I don't know how many, but they're going all in and exercising in the morning, eating healthy, keeping the energy level up, and
that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds cool, right?
I'm not gonna do it, but it sounds good.
All right. Yeah, that's good. So what are you doing now then?
Going to the fucking airport. You're taking me there. We're gonna go. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll interview you next time. What do you think of that?
Yeah, perfect.
That's right. And we'll have 15 people listen to this shit. Not 6. 15.
There's 30 now.
All right, I'm gonna have 35. I'm gonna have 35 people on my shit if you want.
So you're going to Amsterdam now, and are you doing more direct dating summits?
Yeah, that was your first question. But Amsterdam, I'm gonna do a boot camp there, and then I'm gonna do a tour of Germany. Gonna go to South America, do a direct dating summit in Brazil.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna do one in Germany, and then I'm gonna do one in Washington. And that's it for 2013, and obviously running around teaching. And get a product out. My iPhone app's gonna launch in a couple of days too.
iPhone app.
So a lot of shit going on.
More products.
Well, yeah, I'm lazy, so I haven't been making products. But
okay, but you're giving out the summits, no?
Giving out?
No, like releasing them, like
no,
selling the footage.
That was my only real product. Is that the first direct dating summit, which is a fucking great product. That's out there. Yep, that's selling. But the rest we filmed and not used, but something will happen. Yeah.
Okay, so we had not. Okay, so
yeah, we'll see. But I've got a lot of stuff to say, and mainly I'm saying it in very small groups on boot camps, but I want to get more of it out there. So
great stuff. All right, this has been a short podcast, very valuable one. Thank you so much for coming. We'll drive you to the airport now. Don't worry. Breathe with your stomach now. You gotta come back, and it's obvious you're in a group of men and women that we've had here who, like I said, there's a common truth. It's like your got me, and I can feel it right away.
Let me just say this about you, Morten.
Do that.
First, when I met you, I thought you were a little bit weird. And frankly, when I saw you a couple days ago, still thought you were a little bit weird. But after talking to you now, I know 100% you're a little bit weird. I'm kidding. No, I'm glad we had this talk because we never actually had a real talk.
No,
Just
it's true.
talking to you now, I'm actually seeing a lot more depth, and I'm really I'm happy we did it, and hopefully we'll be able to actually hang out normally at some point.
Me too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, really. You should come back, both of you. You two after.
Big kiss to everyone.
Big kiss.
Mwah.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.